Hello students, myself Dr. Vijay Kumar Bhatt, Associate Professor Surgery. Today I will talk about SAW. What is SAW? SAW is a life-threatening situation. In most of the cases, it is due to poor tissue perfusion along with impaired cellular metabolism, culminating in serious pathophysiological abnormalities. Types. What are the types of SAW? Number one is hypovolemic SAW. Second is cardiogenic SAW. Third is neurogenic SAW. Fourth is septic SAW. Fifth is anaphylactic SAW. Sixth is vasovagal SAW. Last but not least, psychogenic SAW. Types of SAW are hypovolemic SAW, cardiogenic SAW, neurogenic SAW, septic SAW, anaphylactic SAW, vasovagal SAW, psychogenic SAW. Now we will come to all these types one by one. Hypovolemic SAW. How it is produced? This SAW is due to loss of intravascular volume due to hemorrhage, dehydration, vomiting, loose motion, etc. Until 10 to 15% of blood volume is lost, cardiac output is maintained tachycardia and vasoconstriction. There is shift of fluid from interstitial space to intravascular compartment. This is known as capillary refilling. Capillary refilling. At the same time, there is contraction of capacitance veins also, which pushes fluid to the arterial side, to the arterial system, pushes fluid to the arterial system, thus compensating for volume deficit without causing hypotension and hypovolemia. Without causing hypovolemia and hypotension. This is hypovolemic shock. Second is cardiogenic shock. As the name suggests, here heart is involved. What happens here? It occurs when more than 50% of wall of left ventricle is damaged by infarction. More than 50%. Naturally, shock, patient is in shock, so we have to give fluid. Then what happens? Fluid overload. Fluid overload, especially colloid, when it is given to counter the shock, what happens? There is over distension of left ventricle with pump failure. IV fluid, over distension of left ventricle, pump failure. Excess fluid is given, especially colloid, causes over distension of left ventricle, leads to pump failure. If at the same time irregularity of heart rate, arrhythmia, if at the same time arrhythmia occurs, it further diminishes the efficiency of pump. Further diminishes efficiency of this pump action. So this was what cardiogenic shocks. Now due to failure in action of left ventricle, what happens? Filling pressure is increased. Filling pressure of heart is increased, which is exerted by right ventricle. This leads to leakage from pulmonary capillaries leading to pulmonary edema and hypoxia. This is right ventricle, left ventricle. Left ventricle function is disturbed. So, filling pressure is increased, which is exerted by this right ventricle. This is not, left ventricle is not functioning normally. It is distended already. So, filling pressure is increased, exerted by right ventricle. From where blood goes to lung. So, what happens? Pulmonary capillaries, they start leaking fluid, leads to pulmonary edema and hypoxia. This completes cardiogenic shock. Now we come to neurogenic shock. Neurogenic shock. This is caused by trauma to spine or pharmacological blockage of sympathetic nervous system. This blockage of sympathetic nervous system causes dilatation of resistant arterioles and capacitance veins. Due to this, there occurs relative hypovolemia and hypotension. Relative hypovolemia. Volume is there, but due to dilatation of these vessels, blood accumulates there, and in the system, general system, it becomes relative hypovolemia, leading to hypotension. In case of a spinal injury and a spinal anesthesia, systolic blood pressure, may go up to 70 millimeter of mercury, 70 mm of mercury. Systolic blood pressure may go up to 70 mm of mercury, but this may be treated by putting the patient in triangular position. Triangular position is head end of the patient is raised. By putting the position in triangular position and giving IV fluid and or using vasopressor drugs, that is turbine. 3 methods are done to increase the level of systolic blood pressure from 70 milligram to 70 mm of mercury. First is keep the patient in triangular position. Second is IV fluid. Third is vasopressor drugs such as turbine. Okay. Now we come to septic shock. septic shock or endotoxic shock. Septic shock or endotoxic shock. As the name suggests, main role to play here is sepsis. There are two types, hyperdynamic or warm type and hypodynamic or cold type. See, septic shock is of two types, hyperdynamic or warm shock, hypodynamic cold shock. What happens here? It is found in severe gram-negative infections which occurs in strangulated bowel, peritonitis, leaking intestinal anastomosis, suppurative biliary conditions, etc. What happens? Endotoxins are absorbed in the circulating blood. They cause generalized systemic inflammatory state. And at the same time, capillaries they start leaking. Patient presents with tachycardia and warm, dry skin. Treatment includes treatment of the cause and at the same time drainage of pus. These two things are important vital for recovery of the patient. Second is hypodynamic. What happens here? If this sepsis or endotoxemia is allowed to persist, then this hyperdynamic shock converts into hypodynamic shock. Here again, there is generalized systemic inflammatory state and leaking from capillaries. This leads to decreased cardiac output, tachycardia and tachypnea. And at the same time, there is vasoconstriction. So what happens? Patient becomes cold, clammy, drowsy. This condition can be converted to hyperdynamic shock by giving several liters of colloid solutions. One should avoid giving crystalloids because if you give crystalloids, there occurs systemic edema and pulmonary edema, leading to hypoxia. Next is anaphylactic shock. Anaphylactic shock. What happens here? Antigens, they combine with IgE present over wall of mast cells and basophils they release large quantity of histamines and SRSA. Histamine and SRSA. SRSA is slow release substance of anaphylaxis. These two substances, they produce edema of glottis and laryngeal edema, bronchial spasm, respiratory distress and massive dilatation of vessels, leading to hypotension and shock. These two substances released during anaphylactic shock produce laryngeal edema, bronchial spasm, respiratory distress causing hypoxia and massive dilatation of vessels leading to hypotension and shock. Mortality is usually 10%. Common cause of anaphylaxis is, one of the common causes is penicillin. Other causes are anesthetic agents, Dextran, injection of serums, sting and consumption of shellfish. These are the causes of anaphylactic shock. Now we come to vasovagal shock. Vasovagal shock. What happens here? We see that in army recruits, they are standing in the sun doing parades, or in police force standing in line doing parades. What happens? Suddenly someone faints, falls down. What happens here? This shock, this is known as vasovagal shock. This shock occurs due to pooling of blood in large vascular reservoirs such as leg muscles. Pooling of blood in large vascular reservoirs such as leg muscles and dilatation of splanchnic arterial bed. And these two factors, they lead to reduced venous return to heart. Reduced venous return to heart. This leads to low cardiac output. Low cardiac output. This leads to low cerebral perfusion. Low cerebral perfusion. Due to this low cerebral perfusion, what happens? There is cerebral hypoxia. This leads to cerebral hypoxia and patient faints. This leads to cerebral hypoxia. Patient faints. When patient faints, falls down, this prostration and at the same time reflex vasoconstriction increases venous return, Cardiac output is improved. Increased cardiac output. Cerebral perfusion is increased. There is no cerebral hypoxia and patient gains consciousness. One must remember that this standing posture and sitting position, such as in dental clinics on dental chair, should not be maintained. When patient faints, this posture should not be maintained. Make the patient lie over the ground. If this is not done, there may occur permanent damage. Last type of shock is psychogenic shock. Psychogenic shock. What happens here? This is due to sudden fright. Fright means bad news. Sudden severe fright or severe pain, such as a blow is given to testis. So that is severe pain. These two conditions, their effect may vary from slight faint to sudden death. Effects of sudden fright or severe pain, such as blow to testis, may be slight faint or sudden death. This is psychogenic shock. Now we come to treatment of shock. Clinical features of shock. Clinical features of shock. Mild shock, moderate shock, severe shock. See what happens. Blood pressure, pulse rate, respiratory rate, urine output, lactic acidosis, consciousness. You will see what happens. Blood pressure. In mild cases, it is normal. Moderate cases, mild hypotension. Here, severe cases, severe hypotension. BP is normal in mild cases, it is mild in moderate cases, and severe cases of shock. Pulse rate increased here, here also increased, here also increased. Pulse rate is increased in all three stages of shock. Respiratory rate increased, moderate cases increased, and severe cases it is labored. Respiration becomes labored. urine output, normal in moderate cases, reduced in moderate cases. Urine output is normal in mild cases, in moderate cases reduced, and severe cases anuria. Severe cases, patient becomes anuric. Lactic acidosis, mild cases 2+, moderate cases 2+, severe cases 3+. Consciousness, mild excited, drowsy, comatose. These are the clinical features of SOR. In mild cases, in moderate cases, and severe cases. Now we come to treatment aspect. Treatment. First is objectives. What is the objectives of treatment in case of SOR? Increase cardiac output. Increase cardiac output. Second is improve the tissue perfusion, especially in cardiac, cerebral, renal and mesenteric vascular bed. Increase tissue perfusion. These are the two objectives for treating the patient of SOR. First aim is to increase cardiac output, second is aim is to increase tissue perfusion. What is the plan? Plan of action. Plan of action is primary cause. Treat the primary cause. Treat the primary cause such as arrest hemorrhage, drainage of pus, etc. Treat the primary cause. Second is improvement of cardiac filling. Improvement of cardiac filling, of ventricular filling. For this, we give IV fluid, improve cardiac filling. Third is improve myocardial contractility. Improve myocardial contractility by using inotropic drugs such as dopamine, dopamine and adrenaline infusion. Fourth action is correct acid-base disturbances. Say if the pH falls below 7.2, give molar sodium bicarbonate and treat electrolyte abnormalities such as sodium and potassium. Acid base disturbances. These are the four plan of actions which we follow in case of treatment of SAW. In case of endotoxic SAW, when hemodynamic status is improved, then what we do? We give large quantities of broad spectrum antibiotics and large quantities of steroids when hemodynamic status is improved. We give large quantity of broad spectrum antibiotics, large quantities of steroids 8 hourly for 1 to 2 days. These steroids, what they do? They increase tissue perfusion and decrease generalized inflammatory state, and they decrease capillary leakage. That's it. Thank you.